Hello, it's Richard Bowser from Property Investor News magazine. I'm here in London at the London Real Estate Meetup with John Corey, who's a regular contributor to Property Investor News magazine. Good evening, John.
Good evening.
John, we're here tonight for your monthly meeting, and the lead speakers here tonight at the event are a couple who've been putting together a crowdfunding site. It's not a new theme, of course, but there seems to be something that's certainly gaining traction. Tell us a little bit about the fundamentals of crowdfunding and your involvement in it.
A couple things. First is the company is the site is called Simple Equity. Mm-hmm. The couple have a prior site for debt peer-to-peer lending called Simple Backing, mm-hmm. but this is equity focused. So tonight we're going to be launching, or I'm hosting the launch mm-hmm. of Simple Equity. Now, the key, as far as I'm concerned, is based on what I know, and I may have my facts wrong, but based on what I know, this is the only equity-focused site for real estate in the UK where what you're going to see on the site are deals from people who put up the deals. They're not site-sponsored deals. It isn't the site trying to sell their own stuff. It's literally a matchmaking service or a proper marketplace where investors who want to raise money, who want to do joint ventures, can put their deals up, and other investors who want to participate can put in the money.
So
each deal is clearly sort of documented mm-hmm. as per the standards for the FCA.
Right. So we could, in theory, have a room tonight with 100 people, and 50 on the left have got deals, and 50 on the right have got.
Exactly. In fact, funny enough, the 50 on the left that have deals might also be backing some of the other deals. Mm-hmm. And as I said to someone, you could buy a course for £1,000, or you could put money into 4 deals and probably learn more from the live deal than you do sitting passively in a course. Mm-hmm. And you might actually earn more than you put in rather than you walk away with a manual.
Mm-hmm. So how in simplistic terms, in a short interview, how does it work, John?
It's essentially a legal way to stand up and say you have a joint venture mm-hmm. and you're looking for a joint venture partner that has some cash. Only you don't need to restrict yourself to one person. You can speak to the retail public if you do it in the authorized way, which basically means all the information has to be on an FCA-approved website, which Simple Equity is.
Right, and so people just log on to the website, look at the propositions, put their 250, is it minimum of 250 or?
Yes, at this time the minimum is £250 per pledge mm-hmm. per investment.
Right, and they can basically, I hesitate to use the word, but place their bet, so to speak.
They can. Well, even better than betting, though, they can spread their bets around.
Indeed.
So they can cover the table.
Yes.
I was speaking to a Chinese investor earlier today, and I said for $2,500, you can put money into 10 different deals and start to figure out who the investors are you want to work with going forward. You can see who the other investors are backing the deal. Mm-hmm. You can see who's got good questions and act as extra eyes and ears to do the due diligence. Mm-hmm. So suddenly you have all the positive power of the crowd in a structured sort of FCA compliant way. Mm-hmm. And unlike PS 13.3, which I made a big hoo-hoo about, mm-hmm. which is you're not supposed to be talking to members of the retail public. If you do it on a crowdfunding site, you can talk to the retail public. Right. And the retail public can participate. Mm-hmm. It's not restricted to sophisticated investors or high net worth. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So literally you can have your debit card at hand and go on to the site and transact.
You can mark a deal or more than one deal as something you're interested in watching. Mm-hmm. You can engage with the conversation. You can pledge money in increments of 250 mm-hmm. up to whatever amount the deal is trying to raise. Mm-hmm. If the deal reaches the amount that they're trying to raise, then that money is drawn down and the deal moves forward mm-hmm. and the contracts are issued. So everybody that's pledged money will get, and it's drawn down, they'll get a standard terms and conditions and legal document, so you see the full documentation. Mm-hmm. If the deal doesn't reach its goal, then the money's never drawn down, so your money's never been removed from your bank account.
Right. John, we've seen crowdfunding, peer-to-peer lending develop over the last 4 or 5 years here in the UK. Based on what you've just said, and if you had someone in front of you today that had 25,000 to spare to put into 10 tranches or 10 separate deals, what would you be saying to them in terms of the due diligence that they should be looking at based on what you've seen and your experiences of where deals go wrong and or what other perhaps crowdfunding operations haven't got quite right?
Well, quite interesting is it's difficult sometimes to know what questions you need to ask. So you ask the ones you know of, but it's the ones you don't know about that you fail to ask that might bite you. So if you actually use the crowd will bring that up. Someone else in the group might ask about that thing, and then you'll actually, in a sense, have your due diligence enhanced. So otherwise, I would say in a crowdfunding environment, it's exactly the same as any deal sourcing a situation or joint venture or deal proposal. You got to look at the numbers, you got to make sure the numbers add up, figure out where the money's going, who's getting paid when, how it's happening, are there any agents getting paid, if it's construction, how's the construction being managed. So it's the normal process for due diligence. The key here is you have more people looking over your shoulder and asking questions that you may not have remembered to ask.
John, that's absolutely fascinating to hear your responses to this growing topic of crowdfunding and peer-to-peer lending. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So it's Richard Bowser here with John Corey in London at the London Real Estate Meetup. Thank you, John.